sure.
They are.
Nothing. It's nothing. These are some
What's
of the
this up at the top?
That one says
I called
New
Debbie
York
and told her we
Bank
were going, so.
Builders.
I called Debbie and told her we were going.
$60.
Builders Hardware. It must be
I was gonna go down through.
Builders
I don't know
Hardware
that
and railway car fixtures. I guess they must have brought some of this stuff up from there to put it in the old clubhouse.
Well, you know, they used to come on the train to the manor, and then you had to hire a... Oh, this is here. This is the clubhouse out there.
Oh my
I don't know what year that was. And my father was a young man when they moved here. He wasn't married. He was, I imagine, about 18 or 19, and I don't know the date. I guess that could be found out from Delhi, couldn't it?
Possibly,
Well, it
yeah.
come from Meredith, which is right close by Delhi.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember what year he was born in?
I have it home, but I don't have it here.
Okay, no
I
problem.
can't remember these things anymore.
I have her address, Irene.
Okay,
And the
great.
grandparents are buried out there.
Okay, those are the grandparents,
My
okay.
grandparents.
Where's the picture of the
out here.
cemetery?
So the grandparents lived here also. I mean, they came, were they the first ones that came here and then your dad came? I see.
That's the first that I know of that ever lived here. It's my grandparents.
Mhm.
They must have
I
built
never
that
knew them.
house.
That was, they died before my time.
Now, you remember the post office that was across the street then?
She's got a picture of that too.
You won't believe how open this was up here. She's looking down from Forest Lake.
My gosh, it's a good thing wow.
It blows your
Good
mind.
thing I didn't know this when my son, grandson went in the pond. I probably would have left him there to come out here.
I'm sorry, the cow was
The cow was in the way.
nature, but that's a post office.
Oh, that's
From here.
wonderful.
Millard Knapp lived there when that picture was taken, Aunt Bea? Millard Knapp lived there when that picture was taken?
Mm-hmm. Burned down during the Christmas holidays.
About what year would it have burned down, do you suppose?
Back me, I don't know.
Uh-huh,
I was gone then.
okay.
So it was after when did you leave here?
24 years.
I left here 1924.
All right, so it would have been after that.
It was after that.
Now, did you have sisters and brothers?
Mm-hmm.
And
Ada Sprague,
Ada Sprague. Married who?
Jan Sprague,
Jan Sprague, okay.
and Lena married a Stewart. My sister Lena married Lamar Stewart.
Oh,
from
Lamar
Dry Brook.
Stewart, in Dry Brook. Yes, I know that family.
Cecil, you never know Cecil?
Oh, very well. Very fine
That's his
man.
brother.
Uh-huh.
And his brother Marshall lives near us, Dunbar, and we visit all the time.
Okay. Was that Cecil or Clifford?
Clifford.
Clifford instead of
Clifford.
Cecil.
Cecil
right.
was
Clifford's son.
I got them all mixed
No,
up
that's
anymore.
fine. That's fine.
Right,
Okay.
Clifford. And my sister's husband was brothers.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Mhm.
And was there any more in the family?
I had a brother,
And his-
Robert.
Robert Leal.
Did he marry?
Drinking a lot.
That's right.
Hey, come on.
This is terrible to do this to you. Why are you trying to
She
have
loves it. She's enjoying it. Get out of
Did,
Okay. Where did Robert go after he left
He
you?
went to Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Okay.
was he
I
married?
married a girl down there.
And your mother and father, where are they buried?
I think in Claryville.
Okay.
My mother was a school teacher, and she come over here to teach school. That's where she met my father.
Did she teach down in Hardenberg Schoolhouse? Or not?
I don't know where she taught. To tell you the truth, I have no idea. You know, when you're young, you don't ask questions.
I know.
There were
Well,
so many things that I wanted to know, and oh God, it's getting hot.
Didn't you say Ada taught in this little schoolhouse over here?
No, my Lena.
Lena. Her sister
She
Lena
taught in the
in
little
this school over
schoolhouse
here.
here.
okay.
Who did you say was buried in the Beaverkill Cemetery? Who did you say was buried in the Beaverkill Cemetery?
My father, my mother, my sister Ada, and her husband, and her two daughters. They're all buried there.
In the Beaverkill Cemetery?
By the church, yeah.
And when your father came here, or your grandfather came here, did they come here to be caretakers? of the Fontinalis Club? Or that was before
I
that?
imagine that they did. I don't know, but I would imagine that's why they come, because the clubhouse was already here, so
Well, the
it must be
clubhouse
they
was
come as caretakers. Well, I don't know how they ever could take care of feed people in that.
They did, though, according to the club history, they did.
Okay.
What the world you got over there?
This is called a camcorder.
You know what? You're
You're gonna be
have to sign off on these royalty rights for the motion picture.
I'm gonna show you yourself on television when you get finished.
I should never look at it.
She should never turn around and look at you. She ain't doing it.
It's all right. I don't mind. I can hear your voice on this too. So.
Now what's the next? You want to see
Now
what these pictures I have, or do you want to ask questions?
I want to ask a couple questions first. Now, you went to school over here at the Hardenberg Schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember some of the teachers' names?
Well, there was Frank De Silva, May De Silva, and Joe De Silva. They were all teachers here.
Did they live here, or did they come from the other side of the hill?
Well, they always boarded around, you know.
Okay, so their
boarded
home
with my
wasn't-
mother, and then they boarded different places. And Clara Paulding. I don't go back much farther
Okay.
than that.
Who were some of the kids in your schoolroom?
Well, I got a picture of some kids that wasn't in my school. There was the Ward Smith, all the Smiths was in. Grace Knapp was in. Walter Conklin, Perry Conklin. Geez, we never had many.
Sure.
We never had kids enough to play games hardly.
Play games.
Do you remember any funny incidents that happened when you went to school?
Sure.
Would you like to tell me some?
When Joseph De Silva was teacher, his eyesight wasn't so good and his hearing wasn't very good, so he'd be looking over our shoulder, we'd be reading, we'd turn 2 or 3 pages or go right on with our stories. You never knew the difference. Oh, a lot of funny little things happened, but nothing special.
Sure. Sure. Of course, you had an outhouse. I
You
bet
bet we had an outhouse.
you didn't take too many trips out there either in the winter, did
You're
you?
darn right.
Basement there?
The first one never wanted to go. They had to thaw the frost off the seat.
Right. I know as a kid, I got locked in the that happen around here, or big snowstorms.
Yeah, we had a big snowstorm. Too bad I didn't bring
Close
that
those curtains.
picture. From the kitchen window, all you can see is the little top of the post office.
Oh.
There was a snowdrift there that went almost up to my bedroom window. It wasn't right in front of the window, it was back a little bit, you know. I marked the house with my snowshoe.
Oh my God.
That's
Oh
how
my
deep
heavens.
the snow was that year. I got
Wow.
snowed in.
Oh, I would think so.
We had some real deep snows.
How about floods? Do you recall any?
No bad floods, no, not real bad. When the ice went out in the spring, that would be the only time you'd get a flood. Because they have ice jams.
Sure.
Used to jam up on our footbridge. That's when a footbridge would turn around, they'd take it right around. That was an awful sound at night. Did you ever hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, you wake up in the middle of the night and hear that cracking and groaning and
Scary.
it was scary.
Yeah, sure.
But you knew what it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Do you remember any other places they buried people that died up here?
gosh, everybody I guess got buried on their farm.
Yeah.
There wasn't any cemeteries here then.
I understood there was a Mr. Knapp that was buried down on his farm, and there was a stone there, but somebody had moved it. You don't recall anything about that?
Where was that?
The Woodard place, let's see, what would it have been in your time? Well, it was Knapp's. You know, the big farm that's all big white building down here, going back,
Mm-hmm.
and the big brown barn.
Mm-hmm.
Whose place was that in your time?
No, let me see.
Just this side of the old Baker place. You know where the Baker place was?
Slider place.
Slider?
Sliders?
Ted Slider.
That was their name, the big white house
Yes.
in the back. That was the Gavett, we called it. You call it Gavett now, I
Yeah, Gavett.
guess. I mean, it was Gavett then
Okay.
that owned that.
Now, would those children have gone to the Turnwood School, or would they have gone to the Hardenberg School?
They would, I don't know if they had children, but if they did, they would have gone to Turnwood.
They would have gone to Turnwood.
I've never come to ours.
Who was up at the Balsam Lake Club when you lived here?
Owens. The Owens family.
Okay, you were still up there.
That would be Bowman's father and mother,
Right.
George and Moe Owen. They had that.
And who was at the castle, at the Marks estate?
Their name was Weaver.
Weaver.
They owned it then. I mean, it wasn't
It was
a
a
club
farm.
or anything then.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. and Mrs. Weaver owned it, then they sold it after.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Were there any other families that lived up the valley?
The one?
Other families that lived up the valley. Now, there was Kellys that lived up there.
Down
Nell
here.
Kelly lived up there.
Up that way?
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts?
Across from
What's
where
going on
Bowman's
here?
little house was.
Nothing
There's
at
a
all.
foundation over in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were they related to the Kellys that lived down here on the flat?
I don't think so. I don't
Different-
think they were
Different Kellys.
a different family.
Because she told us,
And then there
Irene,
was the Smiths that lived up above.
Up above where now did the Smiths live?
Towards Balsam Lake, they lived. They call it, I don't know what they call it.
Quaker clearing or something like
Up,
that?
yes, up there.
Okay.
maybe they lived where
And,
the...
of course, the Beechers lived at Beecher Lake.
The Beechers lived there during your time?
Not my time, before that.
Oh.
My mother knew them.
Okay.
She gave my mother a cookbook
Uh-huh.
and had her name signed into it, and a picture of her daughter. And
Then who would have been the next family there when you were a child at Beecher Lake?
Beecher Lake, I don't remember I can't remember who lived there then.
Okay.
The Beechers were before my time, and I cannot,
Was that just a farm?
I can't remember who lived at Beecher Lake.
That's okay. No, it's always sort of an estate.
Was it?
And how about Forest Lake? Do you remember anybody that lived up there as caretakers?
I don't remember their names really.
Okay.
I mean, they come from Bloomville and over that way, the Forest Lake.
How often did you get into town, Roscoe or Livingston Manor?
Went to Arena more than we went there with the horses,
Uh-huh.
you know, before they went to Manor. But that's where you had to go to do your real shopping, but not too often. Of course, we had a Turnwood store where the Wamsleys had the store. Alice, Frank, and
Will Walmsley?
yeah.
How about church? Was there any church that anybody could go to? Not up in here.
None of us went to church. Well, yeah.
You had your own services every single day, didn't you?
My father had a very nice voice, and he used to sing hymns and things like that. But we was always working on Sunday because of the people here was. Where is she? They always had a big, at noontime was the big dinner on Sunday, and other times it was night, but on Sunday, we had ice cream, and all, on the back porch, and then the old hedgehog got in the ice cream freezer and chewed it all up.
Did you ever have parties or socials in the
Sure
community?
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did you do at those things?
Square dance.
In the
Yay!
houses?
Sure.
Yeah.
My brother used to say, when are we going to have the next hop?
Oh.
The hop for a dance. Oh, God.
Who played the music?
Oh, anybody that could play a guitar or a banjo or a fiddle.
Did you play any?
No, not me.
No?
My brother did. My sister, not me.
You used to do the dancing, huh?
I loved square dancing. What, did you ever do it?
Oh yeah, last Sunday and the Sunday before we square danced.
It used to start in the fall, after the people from here was gone, and things were caught up in the fall. Well, usually deer season. That's when it would start.
You see, I'm so rough at square dancing, she wouldn't even get in our set to get a couple of weeks.
I just go where they pull me, that's all.
We had to go to Little Beach a lot too after that. I mean,
Where'd you dance down there?
well, it's gone now. There used to be just where you went across the bridge and then turned right, went up that way. There used to be a big building there, and they had dances. And then after that, it was up at this end of Little Beach. That building's gone. We used to have dances there, but the fun was in the fall when deer season started. Then somebody would propose to have a party, and you move your things all out of the room. I had it whether the club bought it then, or I don't know when they bought it. I don't know.
Good boy.
Didn't know they had bought it.
Now, when you were born, was there a midwife or a doctor or anything like that?
Doctor.
A doctor. What was the doctor's name? Do you know that?
Dr. Albin from Margaretville.
Okay. Very good. And you're,
I've cooked pancakes for him lots of times. He stayed all night after when the family needed a doctor. He'd come and he stayed all night sometimes.
Oh, that was great.
It was good times.
Sure. Yeah, I got 110 questions. Now, after you left the schoolhouse here, did you go on to high school or anything like that? No.
We had what they called at that time, like 2 years of high school. Our last 2 years in this school here, they said was like, I don't know if it was or not, but that's what we had. No, I never went on. I had poor eyesight always, and I had to leave school sometimes for a couple of weeks during the year. Had a job make up for it then.
Now, when did your mother and father leave here?
My father died in 1920, and my sister and her husband and my mother continued on until, I'd have to hunt that up, it was in the early 30s.
That was
My
the,
sister got cancer, and they couldn't take care of the place anymore,
That was Ada.
so they had
That was
to
Ada.
leave.
That was Ada, right, Aunt Bea? Ada?
Yeah, then my sister Ada and her husband come here then.
who was the sister that had cancer? Judy.
When my folks left,
Ada.
they stored
thought you
the
said
furniture with a big house down where the fish hatchery is now, and stored the furniture and everything down there, and my mother's things, and they were all stolen.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't have hardly a thing that was my mother's. I mean, and that pantry right there was a candlestick that I still think about. It was brass. It was on the wall, and you could pull it out, you could turn it either way, and it was so pretty.
Which sister had cancer?
Lena.
Lena.
So, who was buried out here in the cemetery?
That's my sister Lou's two babies, my grandmother and grandfather, and my grandfather's stepbrother.
What was his name?
I don't know.
No.
I can't remember. I mean, after all,
That was Ada's children out there, or Lena's?
Lena's
Lena's children.
two babies.
She only carried one for 7 months, and then she lost it before it was, before she went full term. And then the baby was born dead, right?
No, she said it lived a couple of hours.
A couple hours.
Don't give me time to eat.
Well, just tell them to shut up and get your time beat.
Maybe I'll have
She needs some more fuel.
You know, this is the price you pay to get to come back to see this place. You have to answer all these
Well, I'm not
questions.
gonna get old if I gotta pay this price. As long as you keep on making these, it's all right.
Okay, all right. I'll make them for you anytime you want to come.
Okay.
We're glad to have you come back again.
See, I don't know why.
She's going to come and stay for a week, Irene.
That's what she said.
We can grill her for a whole week.
She doesn't stay anywhere to tell you. She's only pulling the leg.
That's what I told her this morning. She kept saying, I don't want to take up your time. I said, if we didn't want you to come here, I wouldn't have invited you to come in the first place.
It's after 1 o'clock.
Sure. Yeah, we've been out
Rita will
road.
be having a cat fit. I told her
woke
we're
her up
gonna
this
stop
morning.
in.
Oh, now
Rita Owen.
what was the stepfather's name? that was buried out here? Do you know
That
that?
much you don't
remember.
know.
Okay, okay.
I never knew any of them.
It
Never
was
knew
her
my
grandmother and her
grandmother.
grandfather.
It was a
I
step
never
brother,
knew them.
I
They all
think.
died before my time.
What do you remember about the falls down here, the gorgeous falls?
She has a picture of that too.
I love them. I always did. We stopped today and went out so we could hear them. Because her car, you can't hear a sound into it. And it was so nice to hear those falls.
The Jones
Okay.
brothers have it when you were a
I was just telling her, we bought a team of horses and we was going to a party over in Dry Brook. My sister, my brother, and I. We left in the afternoon. The horse had never been driven singly. We got to the falls, she kicked, my brother hit her with a whip and she went over the bank and we landed down over the bank with the falls.
Wagon and all.
Oh my.
Wagon and horse, and my brother went out on a rock when he had a concussion. He didn't know us, and
She has a picture there that says it's Jones Falls.
It's a nice picture. She has a Joan Falls. Yeah.
Did Robert marry a local girl?
he married Pauline Stewart.
Pauline Stewart, okay.
My sister married Lamar Stewart, and my brother and Pauline stood up with them, and then they got married. Brother and sister and brother.
Oh.
Oh, what a complication. It's family.
That used to happen a lot years ago.
It did.
And Aunt Bea married somebody from down in New Jersey, and her boyfriend was up here, Atwood.
Keep your
See, that's what I tried to find out before, and she wouldn't tell me.
Now you know.
You wouldn't know.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
She says, if I tell you, you probably know.
You're too young.
You're too young.
No, not really.
Yeah.
How about the mail coming in? How often did the mail come up?
Every day,
Did
every
it?
night. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sometimes 11 o'clock with a team of mules.
Was that Jay Butler? Was it?
No,
No.
no. Well, we had a lot. We had what they call, well, his name was Ebony Kelly from
Ebony.
Blue Beach.
Jeb Kelly.
Bug, is what they always
Yeah.
called him.
Bug.
He drove, Claude Akeley drove. Oh dear, we had so many.
John Clum?
He never drove up here. He drove from like Blue Beach to the Manor.
He had mules also.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this probably was his mules that they was using. I imagine. I don't know, but I imagine so. No, but he went that way, and then it was always hard to get somebody to do this end. We used to play pinochle at the post office every night, waiting for the mail to come.
Oh, gee.
She will even play pinochle with you if you come and stay a week.
They love that.
Would you believe I just went to Atlantic City?
Did you win money or lose money?
Well, I broke kind of even.
Well,
Well,
that's
good for you.
I played poker,
Oh my.
and I had a good time.
When you play pinochle, can you remember every card that's played?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I just play for fun.
Oh.
I just play for fun, that's
Well,
all.
Marshall Stewart always plays, and his wife.
Marshall and Stuart, that
They'll come down to visit her.
Cliff's brother,
Tell
they come up and we play
And Rachel.
pinochle.
Tell Irene about the how you're connected to the Joan Wolff down here,
To who? Oh,
to the fly fishing lady.
I'm not connected at all.
She
No.
means Patterson.
Her
Friends.
Joan Wolff, or whatever you call her name, the fly caster.
Yeah.
Her father belonged to the Setter Club, which my husband belonged to. He had a sporting goods
Yes,
store
he did.
in Patterson.
New
He wrote the sporting news for the Patterson paper too.
His name began with an S.
Hmm?
That Joan Wolff's father's name began with an S.
No, it was James Savedo.
Savedo, that's
James
it.
Savannah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Now what else you want to know? You're running out of questions.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
You keep eating.
Give her time to get another mouthful.
More tea. It's getting dry by now, Anthony.
Is her tea going?
You, of course, remember the covered bridge down in Turnwood.
She has a
She
picture
got
of that.
Picture of
a beautiful picture of it.
Great.
Just a little bit.
You knew Fred and Pearl Shaver.
Sure did.
Yeah. I took them on a ride a couple years ago to find that covered bridge.
Go on.
Yeah, it's over off 28A, over near Stone Ridge.
Oh my.
It's between Stone Ridge and Boiseville on that road.
Oh,
you
I
go
never
off.
knew that they kept it.
Yes, they kept it. They sold it in 1938. And
That's great.
took it down there. And I took them down. It's on the annex of